Hey everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these Yap videos, but there's been something that I've been meaning to talk about that I've been seeing online and has been really bugging me a lot. I don't know if you guys seen this, but for these new kind of like indie party games, there's been a lot of people criticizing this genre of game, calling them Friendslop, which looking outside, I thought that was the most miserable thing. What the fuck is a Friendslop? Right? It just sounds like the most bitter like thing to say because you don't have any friends to play these kinds of games and you're just mad. But it's like this sort of criticism that capital G gamers will have to these kind of indie party games that you're supposed to invite your friends and hang out, and they rely a lot on like social media viral moments and word of mouth, and it tends to be like a repetitive gameplay style that you're supposed to just invite your friend, play for a few months, and then let it go, right? And like first of all, I hate the term slop to use anything. Like when I say slop, when I talk about YouTube slop, TikTok slop, Twitter slop, I'm talking about a very specific thing, a very manufactured thing, because you're just pumping this out as much as possible, like blue checks on Twitter, stealing tweets, like like content slop on YouTube that is just like talking about the latest drama. You know what I mean? I think that is the slop that is just looking for something to hate. Tends to be very negative as well because this kind of thing, like controversial stuff, tends to get responses which boosts engagement, right? That's the kind of slop that I'm talking about. But what the fuck is a friend slop? Like, oh, it doesn't have a hard win condition. It just means that you get to play the video game with your friends. Oh my god, no. The horror of like, oh, if you win at the video game, you get more video game to play with your friends, which I crazy. Having fun with your friends in a video game unheard of in 2025. That is not competitive. That is not like great graphics or has like a precise like skill-based focus. Unheard of, right? Can you see how stupid that is? Like, because you see so many people talking about this. Like, I remember back in 2014, 2016, when League of Legends and Valorant was coming out, and they were like, it's all about like these competitive esports games. Like, esports was like starting to become a thing. So everything was focused around esports. Everyone was trying to be the next Dota, the next League, the next Counter Strike, right? Which, if you like those things, I'm not saying it's bad to like single player skill based or multiplayer skill based competitive esports types of games. I'm not saying it's bad per se. I just don't think every single game needs to be that. The same way that I don't think graphics are the point, competitiveness, balance. Games are supposed to be fun. Just that, right? And sure, like the criticism that, yeah, a lot of um, indie games will tend to rely on these like social games because they generate like viral moments, and that goes well on social media. That means that leads well to sales. uh, Even the aggro crab developers say like, why is our stupid game gen selling more than the crap game that they put like a lot of effort in, the souls like crap game, right? And that's because it's fun. It's a fun little game, and that's sometimes that's all you need. Like, and I feel like a lot of people again forget that that's supposed to be the point, right? I feel like that's supposed to be the point. One of the few criticisms, one of the few things that I praise Nintendo for is that Nintendo has always a very strict guideline in their consoles and games that fun is supposed to be the point. With the 3DS, with the Wii, with the Nintendo Switch, with their like mainline games like Mario, right? Mario Kart, Mario games, fun is always at the front and center. It's I have many criticisms of Nintendo. Do not mistake me, right? Don't mistake me as one of those Nintendo fanboys. But something that they always prioritize is just fun. And I feel like indie games in this like past few years have been doing a renaissance in gaming that has been changing the industry a lot. For example, you don't need like super viral, heavy, expensive marketing. You just need to have a good game, a fun game. In the same way, you just need to have a fun game. And sure, having these like viral moments on social media does help. Of course it does. In the same way that a guy like BB No Money, BB knows, plays the social media game with like, oh, I'm gonna commission every artist, and then a bunch of artists do art, post, tag, use social media. If BB knows music on social media, which does boost its streaming numbers as well, and that boosts his uh, views on chartings, right? That's all social media game. Although in fairness, in BB No Money's thing, I do think he enjoy. You can kind of smell that. I mean, he wouldn't cosplay Hatsune Miku if he didn't enjoy it, right? Because if it is disingenuous, I think people would kind of be able to smell it, right? And that's the same point with indie games, with these so-called Friendslop games. Like if it was disingenuous, if it was just a cash grab, I mean, I've played it on Robloxes because people were asking me to play, and I saw a copy, like a carbon copy of Buckshot Roulette. Yeah. First of all, I don't think that. I think that should be illegal. But yeah, that definitely is a cash grab. That is not made out of passion. They're just trying to copy a popular game to steal basically players from it. But a lot of these games are just like interactions on the same formula because they think it's going to be fun. Sometimes a small project, sometimes like a small team, because they just want to make games. Like developers just want to make good games. A lot of the criticisms that games nowadays, in the same vein that a lot of criticisms that anime and movies and series get, it's corporate profits being like the main focus, and they don't making a good product. That's not it. This is not like the product. The games are fun. That's why people are having fun playing these kinds of games. And sure, there's trends to it. The same way that like MOBAs were big when like League was popping off and Dota. The same way that like shooters had like a bit of a high with Apex and Valorant and CS, right? And nowadays it's just these kinds of party games. But that still doesn't make them bad games, especially because they're very cheap. Like, for example, I played Cyberpunk. It's a single player, big story, AAA, right? I had a lot of fun playing it. I played it a little bit after coming out with the updates came, and I had a lot of fun because I feel like nowadays people realize that Cyberpunk has an amazing story. But I played it top to bottom. I don't play Cyberpunk anymore unless they release new content. And I paid $60 for it, right? If you're gonna pay like 5, $10, sometimes even free games, why would you criticize hanging out with your friends and having fun as a bad thing, right? And again, I feel like that's a lot of the capital G gamer crowd that is very has a leniency to be very reactionary, and they just looking on something to hate because that's kind of their own like modus operandi at this point. They don't even enjoy the games; they just want to hate on something. But you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure you can be asking yourself, why am I making a video about this? Are you just talking about the worst people on the internet? And kind of, yeah, I am. But I'm not making this without reason. Because I don't want to become a drama channel, right? I'm making this because it's very easy to let yourself be swayed by the constant negativity in today's world. There's a lot of like complicated. Why do we gotta live in a complicated social political moment? You know what I mean? I just wanted to live prosperity one time. That's not the point of the video. But it's very easy to get yourself drowned in hate. That's why in my community I tend to promote a lot of like positivity, and I tend to like focus on that. I always say like, oh, my stream is just supposed to be something that you can tune in to make yourself feel a little bit better. Same deal with ASMR, because I've been there. I know how positive content can be. At least take the edge off of stress, right? From a hard day's work or whatever you're going through. But I feel like people just are just hating for no reason, especially something that I think is positive for games as a whole. I've mentioned before, but I think indie games are doing like a revolution in the games industry right now because they're proving to the big companies that are having flop after flop after flop that you don't need big marketing budgets. You don't need like a big graphics or a thriving esports scene to just have a good game. You can just make good games with a moderate budget, big or small. We have a clear goal and games that are just fun, right? And I don't want this kind of like gamer crowd, the reactionary gamer crowd on Twitter that are just looking for something to hate, to spread this message, and the developers to feel disencouraged to make good games, even if it's something small, social that you can play with your friends and have fun. Um, I'm not saying this is like the. I'm probably not going to play Peak forever, the same way that I'm probably not going to play Repo or Lethal Company. But I mean, think Left 4 Dead. Sure, not every game is a classic, but Left 4 Dead certainly is. And I find myself coming back. You could, if Left 4 Dead was, if Left 4 Dead was released today, you could certainly call it like a Friendslop. Oh, the zombies just come over in droves, and there's no real mechanic. You just gotta like get your friends and survive together. Yeah, the point is supposed to be hanging out with your friends and having fun. And sure, there's like some chaotic elements to it, like how you can trigger the cause or something. Not every game needs to be played forever. Not every game needs infinite replayability, like some people were saying on Twitter, right? But they're still fun, and it's when good things are made, new good things are made, the classics are born, right? So I really feel like this kind of stuff should be encouraged. That games are supposed to be fun regardless of the budget, regardless of marketing, right? And that's kind of why I'm talking about this. That's kind of why I wanted to make this video. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think? Have you guys been seeing this before? Because if you haven't, I'm so jealous. You know what I mean? I'm really jealous of the people that don't see this online. But, as a content creator, you kind of get exposed to this kind of stuff. And now I'm talking about it to you. I'm sorry. But anyway, what do you guys think? Leave a comment if you want to. What are some of the I'm not gonna call it Friendslop. What are some party games, indie games that you've been playing? Because I love trying out these indie games, and not all of them are good, but I like these small indie games that I can have some good moments with my friends. And sure, I may not remember them forever, but I remember the good times that I had with my friends while I was playing it. And I feel like that's worth $5, $10. You know what I mean? Anyway, leave a like if you want to. Leave a comment if you want to. Join my streams. I do stream here on YouTube as well if you want to come. And I'll be seeing you guys. Take good care. And bye-bye.